Come on, everybody, last chance, chip in, let's go. Welcome to Off Duty, I'm Wendy Bounds, and you know what? The production team of Off Duty, we are all chipping in to win the Mega Millions lottery. It is up to $500 million. I'm on my way out to buy a ticket right now.
Where's your money, Wendy?
Where's my money? Good question, JR. I don't have any cash with me. Come on, you guys, we're a team. Joanne, come on, she's the executive producer. She can afford it. Money in hand, we're about to go buy the ticket. Everyone is dreaming around here, though, what they're going to spend it on. Hey, Levy, what about you? Okay, he's still dreaming. Next, anyone else?
I think I'd buy an island.
Oh, she thinks small. Marshall?
I'd make a suit of Iron Man armor and become a superhero.
Okay, then.
I'd stop playing the lottery and then buy a Ferrari.
JR, very smart.
Ferrari.
Joanne?
I'm thinking more like I'd produce Anchorman 3.
Oh, she's still working. Come on.
Alexander Wayne collection, full season, the whole collection, full price.
You gotta pay off those student loans first.
Pay off the student loans
All right.
first.
Then you get that. All right. So for me, I'm gonna buy the WSJ video department, then I'm firing all of us because we're done. All right. Nobody here mentioned wine, but Lettie Teague, she is on the show today, and next week is Passover. She has some super tasty kosher wines. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Lettie Teague. I'm the wine columnist of the Wall Street Journal, and I'm here on Manhattan's Upper West Side at Gotham Wine and Spirits with a prodigious amount of kosher wine around me. I've been asked more than once, do kosher wines have to be so terrible? And the easy answer to that is no. And I guess the other question is, are they all Manischewitz? Everybody thinks of kosher wine, they think of Manischewitz. But as you can see, there are a whole lot of other wines here which are kosher as well. But they're representative of this new dynamic in kosher winemaking, which is to say they're dry, red table wines of real character and quality. I have this really terrific Côte de Rhône, which happens to be kosher, which you wouldn't know unless you looked for the kosher for Passover. And the difference between kosher and kosher for Passover is just that there cannot be any grain product, involved in the process. That's really the basic difference. The Domaine Natofa is actually made by a French winemaker, but it's an Israeli wine, and this is a Syrah Mourvèdre Grenache blend. They're not just from Israel, although Israel is leading the way in terms of quality kosher wines, but they're from other countries like Australia and France, and then of course in America as well. It gets a little bit more expensive. There are some very ambitious producers in Israel, and the Domaine du Castel, which is their answer to a Bordeaux, is about $65. The best kosher wines are wines you wouldn't even have to mention that they're kosher at all. So kosher wine doesn't really taste any different from a non-kosher wine. A good wine is a good wine. It can be made anywhere, from any grapes. It's just a matter of who makes it. It has to be made by an observant Jew, and it has to be made without using ingredients that aren't kosher, like gelatin. And of course it has to be made under strict rabbinical supervision. There, of course, is a different level of kosher wine, if you will, called mevushal. Mevushal wines were created first by boiling the wines. The process has since been much improved. It's now, the wines are flash pasteurized for a very short period of time. It was a practice created to safeguard the use of the wine by non-believers, non-practicing Jews. So when a wine is made mevushal, it can actually be handled or opened by someone who is not an observant Jew. So we've looked at kosher wines, we've talked about kosher wines, and now I'm wondering what you're drinking when it comes to kosher wines. So leave your comments below, and I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think. We are en route to buy the ticket. JR and Marshall have insisted on accompanying me to make sure I don't run off with the money. Come on, guys, it's only $16. All right, don't be so aggressive. Now, the one thing you want to think about if you win is the press conference. Are you going to look good? I'm talking about a style makeover, which is why we have Elizabeth Holmes. She's teaching us about the top knot for the hair, and this is how you don't want it to turn out. But she does know how it should turn out, and this is one of the most glamorous hairstyles around. We're going to check it out, and we will see you guys downstairs.
This is how you do a top knot. The top knot is one of the season's hottest hairstyles, with celebs like Whitney Port and Elizabeth Olsen piling their hair high and stepping out in style. For some help with our top knot how-to, we've come to the Frederick Fekkai Salon here in Soho and enlisted the help of creative director Fabrice Gilly.
Hello.
So tell me, what is the first step to achieving your perfect top knot?
It's very important to really comb the hair away from the face and to use the right product in order to roll the hair impeccably away from the face.
Okay.
Really slick. For that, I'm going to use the glossing cream, a cream with a lot of light and a lot of texture.
Okay.
Use that all around the face, and that's going to help me to get a really, really slick, high bun. Comb the hair away from the face, bring a really high ponytail in order to create the volume all the way on top of the head.
So get the ponytail as high as you possibly can, right?
Exactly. At this point, you're going to start twisting the top in order to really have the ponytail to be really secure. You're going to use one of this hook rubber band.
Ooh. I've never used one of these before. So as compared to a regular rubber band, it just holds tighter?
Tighter because the hook is actually giving you a really, really good grip. So you got to twist it around, make sure it's really, really tight because you want the hairdo to stay all night. Then you're actually going to start undo a little bit the front part.
So you loosen it up a little? So it's not too severe.
That's right. You want to make sure the bun on the top is going to be big enough, so you're just going to start teasing the hair. Then on both sides, you're just going to start using your finger in order to create a little bit more tension into the roots. Then with the brush,
That's a killer pony.
you're going to start giving yourself a little bit of space in order to give you a little bit of volume already. Then the little trick, you're going to take a big flat bobby pin, just like that one.
Got it.
See? And you're going to put it all the way to the ends right here.
Oh. So you kind of clamp all the hair down.
That's right, trick of the trade. One on top and one under. Then you're actually going to roll it under.
I am loving this.
You're going to secure with two large bobby pin on the underneath.
Okay.
And then small little bobby pin on the inside.
And what do these do? They keep it in place?
Keep it in place and also going to give you the shape of your bun.
Now, I have a lot of hair, but if people need to sort of add some volume, what can they do?
They can tease a little bit before they're actually doing the ponytail.
Okay.
And also you can also tease the bun.
Wow.
Make sure your volume is always around your cheekbones, a little higher. So from the profile, it's just going to bring the volume very high. It will actually have a really nice profile. You're just going to secure everything. You're going to make sure all the little hair is really, really well combed.
Okay.
And then just a little bit on top. What is sometimes interesting to do is to put a little bit of a barrette or a little bit of an accessory right here in order to really make the whole thing very, very attractive.
Okay.
You can have one more rubber band just around here
Okay.
in order to bring the volume even higher. Voila!
I love it. I think me and my top knot are gonna head uptown.
Here in the News Corp newsstand, about to buy the ticket. They don't let us stray very far from the office. Oh my God, guys, 540 million. Just since we were upstairs, want to blow on it for good luck? Come on, do your mojo. Ready to go. $16 on the Mega Millions Quick Pick for the Wall Street Journal Live video team. All right, I'm a little nervous waiting, guys, but let's relax by listening to Jim Fusilli as he interviews his latest pop and rock sensation. Are you nervous? Yeah.
Talked to my mom today. She seems like she's still even passing through. Well, tonight we'll stop in Pittsburgh, but Philly's where we're going to.
Hey, for the Wall Street Journal, this is Jim Fusilli. Our guest today is Justin Townes Earl, whose new album, Nothing's Gonna Change the Way You Feel About Me Now, is his fifth. So how you doing?
Good. Doing real good.
You know, it's your fifth album.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe it.
I can't either. It's not a. every time I hear it said, it sounds kind of strange because it feels like, you know, just yesterday that I recorded The Good Life for Yuma.
How do you write? Do you write for projects or do you write all the time?
I write for projects. I kind of noticed that that's what Springsteen did when I was a teenager, and I've kind of gone with that ever since. You know, I kind of noticed that records like Born to Run were kind of loose concept records. You know, not in the same thing as like Redheaded Stranger, but it was just kind of a loose concept based around these, you know, these feelings in this place. You know, and I took that approach. I write about 10 to 12 songs a year only. Maybe one or two more, but usually about 10 to 12 songs, and they all go onto my records. And,
really?
Yeah, and you know, I've also been I'm a cocktail napkin writer, so I write everywhere. I don't need a quiet place or, you know, an hour on my own. I write at restaurants just as much as I write anywhere.
You know, I'm a tiny bit surprised because unless I'm reading the record completely wrong, these songs are really personal songs. Yeah. Your mom and your dad appear in several songs, but you're writing about some raw emotions.
Yeah.
At times.
Well, I think that sometimes I have a high confusion when it comes to my emotions. A lot of times, my list of medication proves that, and I think that sometimes it takes me a little while to process what I'm saying and how to, like, especially like if say I'm talking about something that happened to me in my childhood, how to say it without sounding bitter, yeah. And without you know, and how to make sure that I've arrived at a solution before I present the problem most of the time. You know, I think that's kind of important. So I think that it takes me sometimes 6 months where I'll just, you know, I'll work on a song and just kind of, you know, just kind of glance at it now and then and flip it around. And sometimes I'll sit down with it and I'll pick up the guitar and make sure that it's still staying in the right melody, but I try to write without the guitar as little as possible and things like that. Yeah, it keeps it from becoming a great musical piece with, you know, I like to concentrate on the lyrics.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to spoil it for your listeners, but there are some drop-dead lines in this album. And one of them, and I'm completely paraphrasing, is you and your mom have to admit to each other why you miss your dad.
Yeah.
To me, that's a kind of song that's hanging in the ether and you had to reach up and pull it down.
Yeah, it was one of those, that song like came on, like I wrote the first verse for that song and I had the first line about I-80 up ahead and I just didn't know where I was going to go with it and I tried to write something, and so that was one of those that I left that first line for about 6 months and then it came to something, and then I started, you know, and then I got a story together after all that time. It all just kind of organically created itself. So it did kind of just come down because I didn't, you know, I didn't worry about it. I just let it kind of work and you know, took my shots at it and then finally it was finished.
You just look foolish when you put me down. Nothing's gonna change the way you feel about me now.
Now, at what point in the process does the sound that you want come into play? Does the songs dictate the sound?
Yeah, I usually have like an idea what I'm shooting for before I start writing sound-wise. By the time I'm done writing the song, I'm pretty much set on what's going to happen production-wise once we walk into the studio.
Generally, when people record live in a short period of time, everything's rushed and loud, and you got quite the opposite effect. At what point in the sessions did it start to feel like everything was starting to come together?
Well, you know, it actually did. Before the sessions, we had rehearsals, and it all actually, the last day of rehearsals, I walked out of those rehearsals very confident in what was going to happen. You know, I felt good about going into the studio, and so I think like really like from once we recorded Memphis in the Rain first, and once we got that and I heard the sound of that, I was like, this this is gonna work.
Stealing down the blacktop at a cold dark night, boy, there's some pitch black sky, there ain't a star in sight.
All right, we got the tickets. I'm going back upstairs. Look, all these people. They must have thought we were good luck buying the tickets. Let's go. JR, what are you doing?
I'm gonna buy my own.
What do you mean you're buying your own?
It's all about the odds, dude.
It's an office pool,
Okay.
man.
It's all the odds.
All right, now while they
messing up
okay,
the
got
karma.
while they work it out. That's it for today's WSJ Off Duty. I'm going to go put these into video safe. Have a good weekend. Wish us luck, Marshall.